showing love. I always want to return the favor. I am Lexxah Drew, a contributor and new addition to the squad. Kudos to all the listeners. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And now that we've given honor to whom honor is due, let's get to it. The topic I'm going to speak on is, where in the world is the Borrego offense? Now, I think you could say the same thing about the defense too, but I think coming into this season, everyone was high on the offense, and I still do believe everyone is high on the offense, but you have an offensive guru in James Borrego, and I think people are trying to see something more immediate than later, especially since this team has been together for a while. So before we jump to conclusions, this is preseason, okay, people? There are no awards that are given during preseason. No Defensive Player of the Year, no MVP, no Sixth Man of the Year, none of that. The games technically don't count, okay? They don't count. But this is what we take from it. Preseason gives us a glimpse of what we'll see on the floor as far as rotations in second and third string, who stays on the team, and who gets more playing time. That's it. Other than that, preseason allows you to improve on the conditioning, improve or build upon chemistry, polish, tighten up on the defense, and see who will play where. All that. All right, so we got that out the way. So the reality is, Pels are 0-3 in preseason. The reality check is, we shouldn't panic or get too bent out of shape, although there is a reason to. All right? So we're going to analyze the 3 preseason games real quick. Okay, so first, looking at these 3 games has been like, it's like being 3 totally different people, like 3 split personalities, very tripolar. First game, the ball was in BI's hands a lot of movement, a lot of turnovers, and that's one thing the Pels have really been dealing with at the start of the season. The turnovers are just bad at the beginning. It is what it is. Zion played off ball a lot. We clearly saw it was Zion keep away in the first quarter, and we've seen that many a times before because it happened on last season. Things picked up in the second quarter for Zion, and he was able to manage to perform pretty solid in the minutes he played, being able to play make with minimal touches. So, we saw some, it looks like the Borrego offense, it looks promising. Well, then the second game against Houston came. And let me tell you something, that all changed. Okay, I'm going to just be honest. It looked like there was a lot of hidden agendas out there. There was no chemistry, no cohesion, no offensive or defensive identity as a team. Now, Herb Jones, he did do his thing. I'll give him that. He's been doing his thing. But as you all know, we need to look good as a team, not just individually, right? Am I right about it? All right, let's keep going. Zion was not involved to what appeared to be, he wasn't included in the game plan, which I really can't get into that, because it's like, how can you not have your star player not be involved or included in the game plan, especially with a player as talented and gifted as Zion? That's just crazy to me. That's outrageous. You have a walking 27-7, 4 or 5 assist guy shooting well over 60% from field goal out on the court, and you can't find a way to get the ball to him, to include him in the game plan. Come on, people. Or even run a play, because we haven't seen that in how many years? The message is clear that the Pels want the ball in BI's hands. That's the game plan. But we can't forget about Zion. His gravity is too great. And believe it or not, Point Zion still works. It still works. The second game, it looked like last season's 10-game losing streak. Let's just be real about that. It looked like last season's 10-game losing streak compacted in one game. There was no energy, no heart, no direction. CJ and BI, they were the main ball handlers, and Zion was on decoy duties in the corners of the court, which we've all seen that before. And we can all agree that that does not work. Zion is too great of a player to be standing in the corners. Like, what in the world are you doing? As of right now, Zion is healthy. Now, I will say, not just with Zion, but with the whole team, conditioning is a factor. Conditioning does need to get a whole lot better. But we have to use the weapons on this team, and we have to utilize the weapons on this team correctly. This is a game, but this ain't no game. Man, y'all had all off season to plan and do research, study, really understand your player personnel, and it seems like there's nothing to show for. As of right now, this is a discombobulated offense. And I get that it's only been 3 preseason games, and I'm not in panic mode, but it's like, come on, y'all. Show us something. Show us something. I mean, by now you all know that I love basketball. Love watching basketball. And I have been watching these other teams around the league. And in comparison to the Pels, I'm looking at these teams, they've made major changes. They made small changes, whether it be role players, star players, whatever. And I'm looking at how they're playing the game, the flow of the game, how fluent they are in playing the game, the ball movement. Like, these guys are balling. They're balling. They're playing together, at least more together than what I'm seeing out of the Pels. And the Pels, they've been together for a while. You would think that the whole team was reconstructed going into training camp. But you look out there, and this is the same team from last season and the season before. In Game 3 against the Hawks, it really looked like they reverted back to Point Zion, and Point Zion hard. Because Game 2 against Houston was just so bad and out of whack and out of sync and just hot garbage, as Deion Sanders would say. So they went back to familiarity in Point Zion. They needed to go back to something that they knew for sure worked. And you saw that. They switched gears. And you saw in, I think late in the second and going into the third, that you started to see a little bit more fluency. And obviously you saw the emergence of, Jayhawk. He just kind of went off in that fourth, which actually made it look like a game. But even in saying that, don't get it twisted. The team still did not look great. The core did not look great. Zion and B.I. are not on the same page. The chemistry as of right now is not there. Whatever the agenda, conflict of interest, or confusion is, fellas, y'all got to figure it out. Team, y'all got to figure it out. Coaching staff, y'all got to figure this out. The pressure is on. Fans ain't trying to wait. It's time to get this. It's time to win. This team was a number 1 seed in the West last season at one point in time. This team can get back to that. Borrego, where you at, man? But look, that's all I got for y'all. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Put down in the comments how you feel about the Borrego offense. I am Lexxah Drew, and I'm out, y'all.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans.